Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream here on WooEnglish. I hope you are all doing well. My name is Hamza, and as always, I will be your guide, your host, your friend, if you want, in this short, linguistic journey. Today, of course, we'll talk about a quite interesting topic, which is related to the Second World War, and that will be the Berlin War, which is something that followed like the Second World War. So today we'll try to see how was life in one of the sites of the Berlin Wall, right? And we are going to use like listening and at the same time reading. So we are going to improve our listening and reading skills, and at the same time we will try to uh, learn some vocabulary and discuss and like have a little discussion. So we are practicing our English, and at the same time we are learning some useful information, some useful historical information, right? So we are doing two things. We are hitting two birds with one stone, right, as they say in English. So learning English and at the same time learning a little bit about history. And I apologize for not being able to stream on last Friday. I was not at home and I was like on the move, so I apologize for that. Maybe we can do a recap sometime this week. Yeah, so as I said, today will be a session about the Berlin War. So let me share with you a little picture. I mean, how are you? Welcome. Faisal Jalaluddin, hey, it's been a while since we last saw you. Maybe you will love this one because I think you are interested in history, Mr. Faisal. So, since you are interested in history, you will definitely love this session. Musa, hello to you. Welcome to the live stream. I'm glad that today you managed to attend very early. So, that's wonderful. All right. So today we'll talk about the Berlin Wall. Do you guys know anything about the Berlin Wall? Have you ever heard about this? Where did it happen? I'm doing some physics exercises. Great. So I mean, is multitasking as always? Multitasking, learning English and learning physics or something else. Great. Mhm. Okay. So what do you guys know about the Berlin Wall? What do you already know about this? Any idea? For example, when did it happen? What was it about? Amin says, yes, it is a wall that was built after Germany lost in the Second World War. And you are absolutely correct, Amin. Absolutely. What do you know about Berlin Wall? Any information that you guys can share with us, please do. So, what do you know about the Berlin Wall? So Amin says it was a wall built after Germany lost in Second World War. Where exactly was it built, Amin? Was it built? So where exactly, or what was the purpose of this wall basically? Is it just a wall that someone liked? Okay. So Amin said it separates two parts of Berlin, East Berlin, that was governed by the Soviet Union, and the Western Berlin was for USA. Amin, again, very, very correct. Great. And today, by the way, we will try to focus on East Berlin, what was happening in East Berlin, because the stories from East Berlin are worse than the ones from West Berlin. So we'll try to focus today on Eastern or East Berlin. That's the side of the wall. So I see more people joining. Of course, welcome to this live stream. Today we are talking about Berlin Wall, right? And I think a lot of you have heard about it before, but today we will learn English through the story of the Berlin Wall. We will not cover, of course, the entire story of the Berlin Wall, but we will try to focus on one chapter that I think is very important. It's a chapter from one of our videos on our channel, and it talks about life in Eastern Berlin or in East Berlin. So we will start with a little quiz, right? So this little quiz, of course, is just like general information about the Berlin Wall. And what I wanted to do is to think or try to answer it, even if you don't know. You can guess, of course, and we will see what you guys already know about this. Yeah, these are some images. Oops, it's not dated. Yeah, we already asked you. I said, what do you know about the Berlin Wall? I mean, already shared some very like important pieces of information. He said that it was a wall built after the Second World War, and it had two major. Well, there were more parts. I mean, but it had two major parts, which was West Berlin and Eastern Berlin. So when was the Berlin Wall built, in your opinion? 1945, 1989, 1975, or 1961? Again, we will not cover the whole chapter about Berlin Wall, but we will try to focus on one. Amin says 1945. All right. Any more answers? You can try to answer. You can just write for me A, B, C, or D. If it's wrong, there is nothing that's going to happen to you, right? So you can just try to answer. Just try it now and write A or B or C or D. Just type one of them. Nothing can happen to you. So come on. I have a lot of information about World War II. Did you study it? That's what I wanted to ask you. I mean, did you study it before? And of course, it goes without saying, don't forget to like this video. That's really, really appreciated. Musa also joins Amin and says 1945. However, the wall actually was built in 1961. The war ended in 1945, I think, but the wall was only built later in 1961. What caused the division of Germany? World War One, the economic collapse, Cold War tensions, or the Industrial Revolution? So after the World War II, what caused the divide or dividing Germany? Was it the First World War? Was it the economic collapse of Germany after it lost? The Cold War tensions between the West and the East, or between the like America and like the Soviet Union, or the Industrial Revolution? Amin says C. I'm not interested in the subject. Yeah, well, uh, the Berlin Wall was a symbol of freedom, and it was a symbol of the difference between the West and the Soviet Union, basically. That's why it's quite important in the history. No other answers. That's only one. Come on, guys. Just write for me A, B, C, or D. It's that simple. Shall I reveal? All right, it's Cold War tensions. And what do we mean by Cold War? It's a war, but there are no weapons, no one being killed. It was just like some tensions and some like it was like tensions between the Soviet Union and America, and they were like pushing against each other, but they were not actually fighting. They were not, at least, they were not directly fighting. So this is when the Berlin Wall happened. When did the Berlin Wall fall? So when did it fall? It started in 1961. So when did it fall? Was it 1981, 1990, 1961, 65, or 1977? No answers, no ideas. You can try to like just guess. A, B, C, or D. Which one do you feel? So it was built in 1961. When do you feel, right? Not no. When do you feel it collapsed? It went down. Hmm. No, no idea. Also, all right. I'm gonna reveal it then. It was in 1981, actually. Great. Renine TS. You did you tried. All right, you tried. What kind of government ruled Eastern Berlin? Because today we are going to focus on there is a wall separating Berlin to East Berlin and West Berlin. We are more interested in life in East Berlin, right? So we will try to see how was life there. So, in your opinion, what kind of government ruled Eastern Berlin? So it was one city, it was divided, and if there was a mother, maybe there is a mother here, and her children are here, are on the other side of the wall, and they can never meet. And so, was it democracy? Was it socialism and communism? Was it monarchy, meaning a king, or was it capitalism? B, Mr. Jalal says socialism and communism. Great. What about the rest of you guys? A. Renine says it's A, meaning a democracy. All right. What about the rest of you guys? So it's is it A, is it B, is it C, or D? Do I have any more answers? When the wall fall down, that means that the communism is collapsed exactly. So indeed, it was communism or communist or socialist like ruling. And let me show you this picture. And this picture shows Berlin during the period or during the era of the wall. So basically, Berlin, the whole city, was divided into two. The West, which was governed by France, Berlin, or Britain and America. So this is the West. It was more capitalist democracy. On the East, it was controlled by the Soviet Union, right? And Soviet Union, we are talking about socialism and communism. So government, like, life here was different from life here. And today we'll try to focus how did these people live during that time. And yeah, let me see. Great. So we'll see a couple of vocabulary. So these are some words that we will see during the listening. When we are listening, we will see these words. So I want you guys to understand them before we carry on. So the graffiti on the wall. So I have four words for you: defiance, loomed, which is a verb; whispers, which is also a verb or a noun here, whispers; and parade. Okay. So what I want you guys to do, I want you to read them in these sentences. Read the sentences and guess the meaning of the words in bold right here. So, for example, soft, quiet speech or sounds. What is this? Is it defiance, loomed, whispers, or parades? Appeared as a large, threatening, or overwhelming. Is it defiance, loomed, whispers, or parades? So, I want you to read the words in the context, in the sentences, and try to find the right meaning for them on the right of the screen. Is that true? Yeah, yeah, you are correct. You are correct. The Berlin Wall collapsed with the collapse of the Soviet Union. Absolutely. As I said, I told you. Oh, you guys are not looking at the right. Okay, sorry. This is what I was talking about. So I have for you here four sentences, and each sentence has a word in bold. I want to focus on these words: defiance, loomed, whispers, and parades, because these words we are going to see them during the listening. And here you have four definitions. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to tell me, number one, is it defiance, loomed, whispers? Soft, quiet speech or sounds. So which one of these four words is it? And I gave you here the words in context, in sentences, so that it can help you understand them better. Let me hide the like. I think you understand that you need to like the video, so I'm gonna remove that from the screen. The graffiti on the wall was an act of defiance. So the word here, defiance, does it mean soft, quiet speech or sound? Appeared as large, threatening, or overwhelming? Public marches often for celebration, or open resistance, or bold disobedience? Which one is it? The meaning of defiance here. So you can write for me. Number one, it's this. Number two, it's this. But you need to hurry up because time is running. Time is racing. I see that you guys are very, very tired or sleepy today. I'm sorry. Hey, how are you? Too loomed. All right. Musa at least is still up. So wakey, wakey, guys. I'm sorry. How are you? Ishtiaq. That's a nice name. All right, I'm gonna reveal them because you guys are sleeping. All right, so whisper is when we speak softly to someone, especially when we speak to their ears. Loomed, as Musa said, is when something appears to be big and huge, like a mountain, for example. The mountain loomed over the city. So the mountain, it appeared big and huge, and we call that to loom. Public marches, the parades, like when there is like a march of army and stuff. And finally, a defiance is an open form of resistance, right? Okay, so let's see if you guys can use them in these sentences. The wall over East Berlin. Children spoke so no one could hear them talking about hope. Klaus's song was an act of against the strict government rules. And finally, the government organized to celebrate socialism. Here, what we are trying to do, we are trying to use these words, these four words that we have just learned: whisper, defiance, parade, and loomed, in these sentences. And yeah, so we are trying to use them in these sentences to try to see that you guys understood them well. Do you have a course? Well, this is kind of a course. Musa says one is defiance. Ah, you mean the? Can you please go back? I want to take a picture. Of course, I can. Sure. Thank you for let me know. All right, you guys can take a picture here if you want to keep these words with you. All right, I think I can go back now. All right, great. So here are the four words. Let me take myself here. So, can you guys help me figure out which word goes to which place? I see that you guys are sleeping today, so I'm gonna reveal it. The wall, we said, loomed over West Berlin, meaning it appeared to be huge. And the children spoke. So if you want no one to hear you, you should speak in whispers. A song can be sometimes a form of resistance or defiance. And the government organized parade. So now we'll go. So this is Berlin, by the way. So we will try now to listen to a short chapter from our story of Berlin Wall, and we are going to listen to life in East Berlin. I have three rules as always. Listen carefully because I will ask you some questions later on. Number two, if you don't understand any word or anything, please let me know in the chat and I will pause and explain it to you. Number three, don't forget to like this video, and I want you to do it right now before we go on and start listening. So make sure to like this video. All right. So let's go
Was
here.
coming. The wall wouldn't last forever. Chapter
Listen to today. And by the way, today we are celebrating 300,000, 300K today. We have finally reached 300,000 followers. So thank you so much, guys, for your support and your trust and believing in our channel. And we really hope that you guys really benefit from our channel. So we really appreciate your support, whether it's by following, subscribing, or joining, or by any kind of support. I will share with you later on around the end of the session some of the ways in which you can be a special member of the channel. So let's start by listening to the video. Thank you again for 300,000 subscribers. We really hope that we are bringing some change to English language learning through learning English through stories. So we hope we are making some improvements. So let's start by listening to chapter number 4 and pay attention. Don't hesitate to ask me
4.
questions.
Life behind the wall. In East Berlin, life changed the moment the wall went up. For the people living there, it wasn't just a physical barrier. It was a constant reminder of what they couldn't have. Freedom. We could see freedom, but we couldn't reach it. That's how many East Berliners described their lives. From their windows, they could sometimes see West Berlin. The bright lights of cafes, the busy streets, the laughter of children playing in parks. But they couldn't cross. The wall stopped them. Day after day, the wall loomed over their lives. Life in East Berlin was controlled by the government. They decided where you worked, what you learned in school, and even what you could say. People were told that socialism was the best way to live. They were told that the West was dangerous. But many didn't believe it. Jobs were chosen for you. If you wanted to be a teacher or a doctor, the government had to approve it. If they didn't like your family or your political views, they might send you to work in a factory instead.
Right? So you cannot work what you like if they think that you are a bad person. They will send you to work in very difficult jobs.
A young man named Hans wanted to be an engineer. He loved building things. But his father had spoken against the government years ago, so Hans wasn't allowed to go to university. Instead, he worked in a coal plant.
Can you imagine that? Just because your father, not even because of something that you did, it's because of something your father did years ago, they can punish you.
Every day he looked at the black smoke rising into the sky and wondered what his life could have been. School in East Berlin was strict. Students were taught to follow the rules. They learned about socialism and how it was better than capitalism. But some teachers added their own messages, quiet ones. One teacher, Frau Schneider, loved history. She told her students about Germany's past, but she also spoke of hope. History is always changing, she would say. Nothing stays the same forever. Her students nodded, pretending to take notes. They knew what she really meant. Daily life was filled with rules. People lined up for food at government shops. The shelves were often half empty. Fresh fruit was rare. Meat was expensive. People learned to make do with what they had. At home, families spoke in whispers. Parents warned their children, "Don't talk about the wall. Don't complain at school." The Stasi, the secret police, could be anywhere.
So even at home, they would whisper to each other. Whisper, we said they speak softly in each other's ears. Why? Because the Stasi
They could be
was
listening
outside.
Even neighbors couldn't always be trusted. Some people spied for the government. They reported what others said or did. A kind smile could hide dangerous intentions. One woman, Marta, found this out the hard way. She told her friend that she wanted to visit her brother in the West. A week later, the Stasi came to her door. Her friend had reported her.
Imagine, you cannot even trust your friends. You can tell your friend the secret that you want to visit your friend because, as I said in the beginning, when the wall was built, some families were separated. So half of them lived in the east, and half of them lived in the west. So if you want to visit your family members, that would have been a
Marta lost
crime
her
in the
job
east.
and was watched by the police for years. She never trusted anyone again. Despite the fear, people found small ways to live. Families gathered for dinners, sharing stories and jokes. They celebrated birthdays with homemade cakes. Children played in the streets, kicking soccer balls and riding bikes. Life wasn't easy, but it went on. Still, the wall was always there, a reminder, a shadow. People tried to distract themselves. The government organized parades and events praising socialism.
We said parades are those shows, those military shows. So they want to show them that, hey, though in the East you are living in very bad circumstances, very bad conditions, but look at the army we have. We can beat the West. This is basically how the Soviet Union functioned.
Workers marched with red flags, shouting slogans. Children sang songs about a bright future. But deep down, many didn't believe it. In their hearts, they dreamed of freedom. Letters became lifelines. Families separated by the wall wrote to each other. They shared news, pictures, and small gifts. But letters were often read by the Stasi before they were delivered.
So even if you want to send like a letter to your friends, the Stasi, the police that will watch you in East Berlin, needed to read it before it will be delivered. So if there is anything against the wall, anything against the Soviet Union, anything against East Berlin, maybe you will be in trouble for a long time. Your children
Anything
also.
suspicious was removed. One young girl, Anya, wrote to her grandmother in the West. She drew a picture of the wall with the words, "Tear it down." The letter never arrived. Her parents were called in for questioning. After that, Anya was told to only write about her school and the weather. Some
Yeah.
East Berliners tried to make the best of things. They joined government organizations, hoping for better jobs or housing. Others stayed quiet, keeping their heads down. But some resisted in small ways. A man named Klaus was a musician. He wrote songs about hope and freedom. He performed them at small gatherings, careful not to attract too much attention. His songs spread quietly, like whispers in the wind. "The wall can't stop our dreams," one of his lyrics said. People sang his songs in their homes, softly, so no one could hear. Life behind the wall wasn't just about fear. It was also about waiting. Waiting for change. Waiting for a day when the wall would fall. An elderly woman named Greta lived near the border. Every morning, she sat by her window, looking at the wall. She remembered a time when Berlin was one city. "It can be one again," she would say to herself. Her granddaughter didn't understand. "The wall will never come down," she said. Greta just smiled. Hope wasn't easy to hold on to, but it was there, in small moments. One winter, snow covered the city. Children built snowmen near the wall. They laughed and threw snowballs, pretending the wall didn't exist. For a moment, it felt like freedom. In spring, flowers bloomed along the death strip. A young couple in East Berlin planted seeds near the wall. It was a quiet act of defiance. bright colors against the gray concrete.
This is a word that we learned before: defiance, resistance. So people to resist because they could be punished. What did they do? Instead of like fighting and speaking, they decided to plant some flowers next to the wall so that they can express their hope, right, and their dreams of a better future. So it was colorful flowers near to a gray concrete wall.
East Berliners found ways to share hope with the West. Sometimes they waved from their windows. Sometimes they sent messages hidden in books or packages. A single sentence could mean everything. We haven't given up. In West Berlin, people responded with messages of their own. They painted graffiti on the wall. They sent balloons carrying notes over the border. One note simply read, "We're with you." The wall shaped every part of life. People lived in its shadow, but they didn't stop dreaming. A boy named Peter sat on his bed one night, looking at a postcard of New York City. His uncle had sent it from the West. Peter stared at the tall buildings, the wide streets, the Statue of Liberty. One day, he thought, I'll see it for myself. His mother walked in and saw the postcard. She didn't take it away. She just kissed his forehead and said, "Maybe you will." Life behind the wall was hard. It was full of fear, rules, and loss, but it was also full of quiet strength. East Berliners found ways to survive. They found ways to hope. And deep inside, they knew one thing: walls don't last forever. Chapter 5. A View from...
Tolga, you are indeed late. Sorry for that. Yeah, all right. So I hope chapter 4 was good for you. So again, maybe for Tolga or anyone who has just joined. So today we are talking about Berlin Wall, and let me show you. So the whole video is like 2 hours, right? The whole video is 2 hours. It's 2 hours exactly. But we only listened to 1 or 10 minutes. So in this 10 minutes, it talked about one part of Berlin Wall, which is how was life in East Berlin. So the wall basically divided Germany or Berlin into two sides, the west side and the east side. So the east side was governed or was controlled by Soviet Union. So life there was very difficult. So we tried to see some of the images of how people lived in East Berlin, where the Soviet Union was controlling. So that's basically it. So let's try and see if you guys were following or did you fall asleep during the listening. Let's see question number 1. Question number 1. People in East Berlin could sometimes see West Berlin. Is that true or is that false? From the text that we have just listened to, what do you guys think? People in East Berlin could sometimes visit or see people in West Berlin. Was that true or false from what we listened to? False, says Tolga. False, says Amin. I didn't see your answer, Amin. And thank you, Musa, for reminding everybody. True, says Faisal. All right, let's check. Let's check. It is true. From their window, so they could see them, but they could not visit them, okay? From their windows, they could sometimes see West Berlin, the bright lights of cafes, the busy streets, the laughter of children playing in the parks. Life in the East was very difficult. And as we have seen in the listening, they could not even choose what job they wanted to do. The government, the Soviet Union, would choose the job for you. Oh, you want to be a teacher? But you said something not very nice about Soviet Russia or Soviet Union. So you are going to be a miner. You are going to work in the coal mine, not a teacher, right? However, so they could not visit the West Berlin, but they could see it from their windows. That's it. So they could just see them enjoying their life, having fun, while they were basically prisoners. Number two, Frau Schneider taught her students that socialism was the best way to live. This was a teacher who was very rebellious. She did not accept the rules here. Oh, I revealed the answer. Oh my god. Okay, I see. I thought you meant visit exactly the same did Tolga. Yeah, so just see. All right. So this is false. I think you already seen some teachers added their own messages, quiet ones. So Frau Schneider also spoke of hope. She was hopeful that she could show her children that what they teach them in school is wrong. The government chose people's jobs in East Berlin. Was this true? Was this false? It was the government to choose your job, or were people free to choose their own jobs? I'm talking here again about East Berlin. So can you imagine exactly, Faisal, that was true for that was false for the previous one? True, probably. Tolga, you missed that part. True, says Faisal. Right? False, says Amin. So did they, I mean, did they get to choose their own jobs? Do you remember this part? We already talked about it. It is true. So it was the government who would choose. Jobs were chosen for you. If you wanted to be a teacher or a doctor, the government had to confirm, had to tell you, okay, you can work as a doctor. If you or even your father or your mother said something bad about the government, you will be punished. You will not work the job that you like. Marta was reported to the Stasi for making a graffiti. I'm not sure if you remember this, Marta. So it was her friend who reported her. Do you remember why she was reported? Was it indeed because she made graffiti, or it was another reason? True. Which one are you talking about? I think you are talking about the previous one, Musa, right? Yeah, probably talking about the previous one. Marta, thank you. Whoever liked the video from Facebook, can you say hi in the chat? Can you say hi in the comment? It's been a while since we heard from people in on Facebook. False. Marta, where is she from? She is from Berlin, and she did something, and for that she lost her job, and she faced a lot of trouble because of that thing that she did. I think I'm gonna reveal it. It is false. Why was she why was her life ruined? Marta was reported by her friend to the Stasi. For people who were not here before, the Stasi were the police in East Berlin that would listen on people and see if they say anything against the government. So for wanting to visit her brother in the West, that's it. She told her friend, hey, I wish I could visit my brother, not her friend, her brother. I wish I could visit my brother in West Berlin. And the police said, oh, how could you think of that? You lose your job and we will watch you for the rest of your life. Can you imagine how difficult life was in East Berlin? So let me go back. Let me go back here. So this, it was the same city. It was one city divided by a wall, while people here lived in very good circumstances, very good conditions. They had cafes, they had schools. People here would lose their life, their freedom, if they simply said, hey, I wish I could visit my brother. Like it was that like shocking. The Stasi often read letters before delivering them. So if you send a letter to your friend, the Stasi, the police would read it and then they would give it to your friend if they think it's okay. What do you think? Journalist. It was a graffiti. And no, 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 Musa, it was not a graffiti. The Stasi often read letters. Is this true or is it false? What do you remember? True, true, true. All right, so you get true. Delivered. Anything suspicious was removed. And also the person who sent it will be in trouble. Right. Oopsie. All right. Sorry. Oops. Okay. Yeah, great. So what happened when Anya wrote it down on a picture of the wall? So Anya, so again, just to remind you, so Anya was a little kid who sent a letter to her grandmother, and in the letter it was tear it down, talking about the wall, like remove the wall. And so what happened? Her letter was sent to her grandmother. The letter was never arrived, and her parents were questioned. Sent to a boarding school, or the Stasi praised her drawing. Which one happened? I think you can already guess. So, what are your answers? Let me check. A, C, B. All right. So, you guys, coward or meticulous? Coward or meticulous? I don't understand the word, or I don't understand what he's. Also, I have different answers here. All right. Let's see what is the right one. The letter never arrived. So, when a little kid sent to her grandmother, "Hey, grandma, I hope they remove that wall." What did the Stasi do? They never sent the letter to the grandma, so the grandma never knew of the letter. And later, they asked her parents. They asked them questions, right? Because they started asking, well, maybe her parents told her to say that, right? Why was Hans not allowed to go to university? Again, this is someone that we listened during the So I will reveal it because I don't want to waste a lot of time here. So his father had spoken against the government. So because your father spoke against the government, you could not go to university. That's how crazy things were. What did Klaus do to resist the government quietly? This was another person. So you can see that even if people were oppressed and were were threatened to be taken to jail or to be killed or whatever, they still resisted. And Klaus was one of the people who resisted. How did he resist? He wrote songs about hope and freedom. He planted flowers near the wall. He wrote letters to West Berlin, or he marched in the government parades. How did he? I guess D or D. Yeah. Tolga says maybe it's D. Still not sure. So just while you're thinking, this is a picture of when the wall fell down. So you can see that people were very very happy here, and people were very like you can see the graffiti here. A lot of graffiti like this. Remove the wall, etc. And I want to show you another picture. So this picture is very famous one. So this picture shows a soldier. So even soldiers, he jumped from West Berlin. West Berlin is where the women are standing to West Berlin to save himself. So even the soldiers did not like East living in East Berlin, and you can see that soldiers like they had a lot of power like compared to normal people, but still he decided he wanted to run away, and he was not the only one. A lot of people tried to run away from East Berlin to West Berlin. Some of them succeeded, some of them did not, unfortunately. They were either killed or punished. So Klaus actually wrote a song, and he would sing it like very, very quietly. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna just. All right. All right. These are some pictures again from like that era. So yeah. So from this little story about East Berlin and the Berlin Wall, what do you guys think, or what did it make you think about? For me, for example, it made me think how a wall, like a simple wall, can mean like a lot of things. Like it can mean that, well, on one side of the wall there is freedom, there is liberty, there is like a good life, but on the other side of the wall there is misery, there is pain, there is sadness, there is like a lot of bad things. So you can see just a wall and different lives on each side of them. Today, we focused on one side, which is East Berlin. What about you guys? What is an idea that stuck with you? I also loved how people resisted. Like even in those like very difficult situations, they resisted. They did not. They basically they said, "All right, I don't want this," even if they were in big danger. So, what are some ideas that stuck with you? Okay, Amin says, what stuck mean? Something that stays in your head. So now we finished. And what is something that you will remember after finishing this live stream, Musa? Okay, is that clear? USA was easy with citizens in West Berlin, but USSR but was very strict. Exactly. And one of the things, by the way, that was different is that in West Berlin, people could travel to other places. But in East Berlin, people could not travel. They were stuck in one city forever. The harms of supporting statist views, or statist. What's statist? I don't get the word. I'm just preparing to show you some stuff, right? So while I'm preparing for you some like last like something about our channel, let me know what you guys think. The internet is very, very bad, especially when I'm streaming. And are there any ideas? All right. Faisal says, Faisal, where is Faisal? Central. Okay, okay. All right. So the wall mean the difference between the two logical USA and USSR. Yeah, state that is centralized. So I think you mean dictatorship, like between democracy and dictatorship, or or socialists. So East Berlin citizens can't go to others. No, no, they are stuck there. The life where it was imagined. Imagine you have one small shop and you have five kids. You live in East Berlin and the shop in the West. And imagine, Amin, that you have kids and you are stuck in West Berlin and your kids are stuck in East Berlin. And this happened like to a lot of families. A lot of families, like some members are stuck in the East, some members are stuck in the West, and you can never see them again. Imagine, like, life was very, very difficult back then. Oh my God. I wanted to show you some our channel, and then I ended up. So let me very quickly check this. Hell with no fire or magma. Yeah, yes, exactly. That's hell on earth, basically. Yes, that's hell on earth. Different ideologies, absolutely, absolutely. So it was a different also in ideologies. I completely agree. Again, I just want to show you some stuff. And the internet has a different opinion, unfortunately. So yeah, come on, come on, come on. All right, finally. Yeah, so as I said before, so I think that's it for the end for this live stream. But I wanna share with you some stuff since I have a lot of you guys here. And the first thing, of course, is that our channel is now at 300,000. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. So Yeah, so our channel is at 300,000 followers. So thank you so much, guys, for your trust. Thank you for your support. So this is our channel. You can see that the internet is really, really bad. All right. You can see handsome you are watching right now. Me, of course. The join button. So we are at 300,000 subscribers. A huge family, actually. So we are heading to 500,000. All right. We are heading to 500,000. So yeah. And wanted to talk about, so if you are subscribed, that's great, we really appreciate your help. If you can join our channel, so by joining, that means that you will be a paying member, right? You will be a paying member. And what does that mean? So our memberships, there is $5 or 5 dirhams. This is of course to Moroccan dirhams, but in euros or in dollars, let me show you. So this is in euros. It's €1 per month or less than €1 per month. You can have access to limited content. So it depends on which package you would love to try. The stickers, the support us, the elite escapades, or elite audio pack. And these memberships will allow you to download the PDFs. Of course, there are some PDFs that you can download, but there are PDFs that are only for our members. You can download even the audios if you choose this pack, where you can like audio MP3, so you can download the audio and listen to it on your own time. There is the Elite Escapade where you can download the stories, exclusive live sessions, right, or exclusive video stories. Because, and of course, all the memberships come with a very interesting thing, which is that no ads. You will not have any ads. So these are just some perks. Of course, if you can support the channel this way, that will be amazing. If you can't, your likes are more than enough. You can enjoy all stuff that we give for free, right? We really work very hard, and yeah, we need some support to keep the channel going, of course. So I'm just want to show you what we are talking about. So you can see here, like these are some live streams. So there are some videos that you can access for free, but for the PDFs, you will have to go through a membership. And wait, I'm not sure where is the paid only, but there is a part where you will have like paid only members. So there are some videos that you can only have for paid members. So of course, if you have the ability, if you don't, it's totally fine. All right. So this is, as I said, these are a lot of videos, and these are some members who have as little as $1 per month. All right, that's the least. Yes, this is it. So you can see here that videos are members only. So those are videos that are special for members, and also some live streams, some old live streams of us. You can find their replays in like in member only live streams. So yeah, these are just some perks. As I said, you can choose whichever is okay with you. $0.9, $1.9, 24 or 39. So whichever works for you. Of course, it comes with a lot of perks, like no ads at all. You can watch, enjoy our videos without any ads, or you can simply enjoy them like you have already done for free. As I said, this is just a suggestion. So thank you so much, guys. Do you use East Internet? It's Berlin Internet. Great one. That's a roast. That's a nice roast. So thank you so much, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this live stream. I see you on Friday. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.